Okay, so today it's been a mega crazy day, a bit short. Just trying to grab a couple minutes just to keep you guys updated. So obviously today, Monday, cold, isn't it, guys? Cold, but beautiful. Sunshine, no snow yet. Apparently it's coming in, but we'll have to wait and see. I've heard a friend of mine in London, there's some snow there, so I hope everyone's okay there. So yeah, had a couple of meetings this morning, just getting things underway. We just ran through. Every Monday we always run through what's going on in the business, keeping on top of what's going on with deals, clients, making sure everything's going through smoothly, and if there's issues, we obviously keep on top of them. So every week we go through everything on our business register, make sure everything's updated, make sure everyone's on the same page. Yeah, we work very closely as a team, so that's absolutely critical for the way we operate, and an opportunity just to catch up any news, any market news, any just anything really in terms of relevance. Had a couple other meetings with a few of the guys, just talking about the the expansion plans and where we see the business going. I've got some sort of very different ideas in terms of shifting the business not in terms of fundamentally what we do, but actually in terms of the direction, which could be really quite exciting. And I think it's one of those things I need to let just go through my head and just sort of just absorb my thoughts. Just observe what's going on in the market, trying to keep tuned into what is Joe Public, what are they doing, what's their thinking, why do they do certain things, how can we best implement our business into the world we live in, how can we all those sort of fundamental questions, and really just trying to evolve an idea, and sometimes the ideas are just not right for the marketplace or what have you. So yeah, some bit of left field thinking really, and I think it's always as any business, I think you've got to really take that time to think about the bigger picture and how whatever it is, maybe technology could disrupt your industry. And I read today about how it was quite interesting. There was a bot or some sort of AI which did a piece of work with lawyers, and it was a competition, almost like the lawyers had to do some. I didn't read the whole article. I just read a few bits, but basically they were had to do some work, and it was a race against the AI, and I think the AI had 86, something like, you have to forgive me, I can't remember exactly, but something like 90 or 86% accuracy, compared to the lawyers, which was lower, and they did it 200 times faster. I can't remember the times, but the AI did it in something like 20 odd seconds, and the lawyers did it in a couple of hours or something along those lines. I'm not 100% accurate, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. In essence, every industry, and it's not just law, it's not just finance, every single industry is going to be ripe for disruption, and it's happening. And if you're not switched onto it, if you're not aware of it, you're either going to be left behind or you're just going to be killed off. So I think it's absolutely critical for any business, whatever they do, they need to be actively looking into this, and whether that's adjusting their business model or adjusting their processes, or actually being at the forefront of these changes. I think it's absolutely critical. So that's something I'm really consciously aware of. And although we're looking at these possible tweaking our business model, fundamentally we're still going to be helping people. It's just the way we go out about growing our voice, shall we say, or our distribution. So, but I think for us, although, and actually I was chatting to one of the other guys about this, I think for us, right now it's about, okay, let's look at how we can implement maybe AI and technology into our internal procedures to make us much more efficient and be able to get to decisions quicker, to give a better, fundamental experience. But actually, right now, the importance, I think actually, I'll rephrase this. I think the reality is people want to communicate on lots of different levels, and you can't guess how anyone's going to best communicate. Somebody might prefer communicating via email, somebody might prefer communicating by text, somebody might prefer communicating via MSN, whatever, I don't know, think of a messaging service, Facebook Messenger, Skype, face-to-face. So, there's a whole, people can communicate across so many different platforms now, and to assume that somebody will only communicate on one format, or they have to communicate in one format, I think it's really naive as a business. I think you've got to start learning to communicate on lots of different ways, and certainly when we're looking to roll our new website out, we're going to be looking at every communication channel being accessible to people for them to communicate with us, because we can't assume that someone's going to communicate one way or another, and we want to be able to be open and flexible to everybody. So I think that's the key point, going back to the AI side, is we might argue in it as an industry, people prefer a personal relationship, they like face-to-face advice, and you know what, a lot of people do, but there's still a lot of people who would rather, or be happy with just communicating over the phone and email, maybe Skype, or be happy with just pressing a few buttons on a computer and not having any interaction. And I think where we're at is we're going to be probably looking to really evolve all those communication channels, be very much client-centric and client-facing. But if a client doesn't want to see us face-to-face, we're not going to say you have to. So we're just going to be looking at lots of different scenarios. And with the AI, we're going to look to develop that in the back end for our efficiency, but with a future eye on actually having that as another communication channel. So if clients don't want to speak to us, they don't want to meet us, then they don't have to. So they can just then press a few buttons on a keyboard, and hopefully that'll be it. But I think in terms of our development of our AI, we're going to be effectively keeping it in-house for efficiency. And I think the nice thing with that is we'll be able to test it and adapt it and really make sure it's really robust before we actually roll it out to the wider community and make it accessible. So that's something we're looking at. Did a few sort of podcast sessions on the Best Buys. To be honest with you, I'll try and do on Mondays we do first remortgaging on what was it? My brain's gone a bit dead. Wednesdays home movers, on Fridays first time buyers, and lately I've been a bit hectic, so I've only been able to do one video at a time. But with this, ideally, and this is what I've tried to do today, is do all the videos in one day and then just schedule them out for the Monday, the Wednesday, the Friday, which basically means that I'm free for the rest of the week to do the podcast and business meetings on the podcasts. Tomorrow I've got to plan and prepare for going into local college just to help advise some students who are doing business sort of studies, so that should be quite fun actually. So I might see if I can get some recording on that, just see what their questions are and sort of help them. I really like helping actually younger generation coming into the marketplace, or any market actually. I think it only seems like yesterday that I was 18 and 20 and all the rest of it, and I'm sure it's the same with you guys, but I think all of us, if we can give something back, that's what it's all about. It really is. So loads more today. I can't remember everything, so you have to forgive me, but that's a little snippet of my day, and got to go and take the little boy football training before I get told off for being late. So keep tuned in. Catch you guys soon. Take care. Where are we going?
We're going to my football club.
Awesome. Let's go.